They entered public service to answer the call in our communities, but that doesn't mean that many of the Tri-State's elected officials aren't well paid.
9 News has completed an extensive investigation into the salaries of dozens of elected officials who represent us on all levels. Lance Berry uncovered some surprises in those incomes. He has more on what's being said about those paychecks and who's not saying a word.
From the White House to here at City Hall and all places in between, elected officials work for you. So the station that's on your side filed a very simple request on your behalf. We wanted to know what those elected officials make in salary. But as you're about to see, in an era where more and more concerned citizens are crying out for further transparency, in some cases, those cries are falling on deaf ears.
I mean, if this is representative of how government's working, it's not working well.
Poring over the dozens of public information requests that we submitted, Jason Gloyd summed up many of them like this.
It shows the arrogance of government.
Gloyd is chairman of COAST, a local conservative spending watchdog group.
People get elected to higher and higher office. They become less and less in touch with the people that they represent.
Speaking of high office, we began our request at the highest, at the White House, with the request of President Obama's press office to tell us formally what he makes. We're still waiting. We also sent requests to senators who represent the Tri-State. These letters were sent weeks ago by certified mail. We got a response from 4 of the 6. All make the same $174,000 salary Senators Brown, Paul, Portman, and Lugar report, while Senators Mitch McConnell and Dan Coats, they failed to respond.
They forgot that they are there to represent the people of their district, and they get caught up in Washington politics, and they are better than you.
We had no better luck on the other side of the congressional chamber, with Congresswoman Jean Schmidt and Steve Chabot reporting their $174,000 salaries. But we got no reply from Congressman Todd Young, Jeff Davis, Michael Turner, and even Speaker of the House John Boehner.
We expect them to be representatives of the people, and we expect them to be responsive to both the concerns and the needs of their constituents. And so to not respond on that, I think, is a big deal.
Straw that tipped the camel's back.
Mike Wilson is the founder and president of the Cincinnati Tea Party. Political views aside, he claims if politicians won't even respond to the media, then everyday citizens don't stand a chance.
Disappointing, but unfortunately not surprising. It could be arrogance in some cases. It could be incompetence at others. It could be some low-level staffer who checks the mail who didn't forward it to the appropriate person, or they didn't respond in time.
But that doesn't speak well for the office.
No, believe me, none of those answers are good.
Salary of $95,000 seems kind of low.
That's what Indiana Governor Mitch Daniels makes, according to his office, more than 50 grand less than just the base salary of what Ohio Governor John Kasich is polling in.
I think Mitch Daniels has been one of the most effective governors in the country.
After a lengthy delay, Kentucky Governor Steve Beshear's office finally reported his salary at more than $129,000. We went to the county levels in search of salaries, finding Hamilton County Commissioners Portune, Hartman, and Monzel at 87 grand each.
You know, it's unfortunate that they continue to draw that high of a salary on what's basically a part-time job.
All of those county-wide offices are set by state government, and they really literally have no ability to control those.
In Butler County, the highest paid elected official is the coroner, who makes a stiff $115,000. The coroner of Campbell County, meanwhile, makes slightly more than a third of that, coming in at $41,000. Other numbers of note in northern Kentucky: Boone County Judge Executive Gary Moore's salary in excess of $100,000. But did you know that's the same amount the county's jailer makes? We also requested Dearborn County's salaries and found they're able to make their government work on the cheap, with commissioners making just more than $23,000 a year and the coroner just 16 grand. Lastly, we came here to Cincinnati City Hall, where after repeated requests, they finally gave up their salary information on their elected officials. Specifically, city council members make more than $60,000, with the mayor making twice that amount.
There doesn't seem to be any shortage of people clamoring to get into these positions, which tells me that maybe we don't need to pay quite as much as we are in some cases.
Lance Berry, 9 News.
Although the White House did not respond to our request, we did find the president's annual salary by doing a quick internet search. The amount is $400,000 a year. Those numbers aren't all we found. Lance also uncovered many perks elected officials receive, from car allowances to extensive health benefits to even parking spots, all paid for by your tax dollars. For a look at those numbers and dozens more salaries that you didn't see in Lance's report, find the story on WCPO.com.